Look what the man thief now. Watch what the man thief. Eh? Watch your phone. Why else you take that?
To eat, right?
Yeah, but you could ask somebody for something to eat.
But for the bad people, right?
Yeah, but it's right through. You're coming here to take, brother.
It's not right through, right?
Right through, brother.
Right through.
You're lying.
It's come right through and pay for my things. But today, a few times, I even lie. I take up things. Take like peanut butter or cheese to put in my bread to eat. I just being honest. I stole peanut butter and cheese to eat.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, son of the world, praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of the millstone. Salutation to you, Archeon, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yassad, back at you with another lesson. We'll net define to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? We're willing, hopefully, that this lesson be edifying unto the outside Israel, mainly the elect. And this year is just our next one, Look at the state of our people. And also it's showing you, because it all push into the direction of things in the economy getting much harder. And look, especially in TNT, a lot of jobs, a lot of so-called Negroes being jobless. For example, our other brothers from Venezuela, majority of them is, Northern Kingdom. Coming across here is cheaper labor. The women look more beautiful, so they actually taking up all the cashing work, all the sales work, all the bar work, and all, the so-called Judites, Benjamites, the so-called Negroes. No, sorry, the so-called Negroes, which majority is the Benjamites, the Judites. They actually jobless, right? And more jobs would actually decline. The cost of living getting much higher, so a lot of jigs would lead to that. A lot of jigs would lead to killing the neighbor, robbing, because the crime rate, look at it have not been getting less, it have been increasing. Just the other day I was watching Elamite, the robber Elamite, and shoot him in the head. And he ball, hey, I live in, I can kill all of you now. I mount. Yeah. And that is it, because we people being, the curse is being carried out upon our people, as we being that byword among the nation, and I reproach Psalms 44 and 14. And things are not gonna get better, especially with that move to that digital system coming out. Everything going digital. What would be the case for so many jakes selling on the streets? Because what the government is actually doing right now is they're building up many booths in the market, and not even much booths in the market. So soon there's not gonna be no street vending, and majority are a good couple of jakes get a little hustle and make a little dollar to see about the family by selling, market stuff and thing on the side of the roads, because they don't have the money to say, well, they go open up a stall and these things like these other nations. But they having a little pineapple stand, selling the bananas, the whatsoever. Now the government is gonna bring laws into place, which already have laws about vending certain areas and XYZ, right? Soon there's not gonna be no street vending at all. All is gonna have to come and get a spot in the market, and how much vendors could be accommodated in the market. So that would mean 5% of all the street vendors, only 5% of them would be able to occupy a stall in the market, right? And what would be the next set cases? What would be the other cases? They wouldn't be able to sell. Psalms 44:14 Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. And you could hear it in that man's voice that is a Elamite. You know? You could hear it in that voice of the man, you know, saying he steal and whatsoever is a Elamite. Right? Yeah. So the curse is being carried out, but the more things get bad is that same Jake, the spirit is gonna rise upon them when the economy gets more hard, and this precept is gonna come into play. He's not gonna come now and just try and thief. He's gonna go and take these Edomite lives. Because the Lord, this place is gonna be chaos soon. Second is just 15 and 19. Right. We'll start at verses 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Yeah, because just as when things get more hard, and then you seen him there, he already doing a little stealing, and maybe it could be little robberies and these things. One thing gets so hard now, is he gonna look to find a gun? You know, and this time it's not gonna be he hiding and trying to steal something. Soon it's gonna be they coming in and killing you and taking your goods. And sword in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Let's go to that word. Yes, sedition, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Because soon the people is going to reach a state that they're not going to have no regard for the kings anymore. They don't want to hear what Rowley had to say. In that time, everybody is peace and everybody had to, follow along with the jurisdiction. Things were better. People they want to hear that when the kids hungry, and the prime minister that is in place to govern the people not helping them, just making things worse. They're gonna fight against that. It's and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, because there is soon martial law. What is going to be implemented soon is that they're coming to centralize everything. And there's our agenda pushing through the world. Right, let's get something quick.
Break the silence. Stop being silent. You may have noticed we are on the verge of slipping in to totalitarianism. They need to control every single aspect of every single individual's life. They need to control your beliefs, your thinking, and everything you are doing. That is scary. And that's actually what we are seeing. The surveillance everywhere, the tracking on social media, and all of this. I'm telling you, totalitarianism is the worst kind of government or state you could ever imagine. And given the technological means they have at their disposal today, it's going to be a hell, and it's going to be a hell that we might actually not be able to get back out of. At least once we are there, we're not talking about 40 years of GDR. We're not going to be talking about 70 years of Soviet Union. Once we have gone fully totalitarian, we are going to be talking about a very, very, very long time. You want an example? Look to China. They are already there. And this will be our future. And I'm not talking about a future in 30, 40, 50 years from now. It's happening now, ladies and gentlemen. So,
yeah, you know, and as Rowley say, you know, we're gonna be given e-identities, you know, and they had to stay on track and keep up with the world that is now. You know, they can't fall behind. So they had a push for that digitalization of the system. You know, so with all our maximum security, Jake can even be able to pick up a Bobby and walk out and feel he could escape in that time, you know. Hey, some serious times we actually gonna be heading in. Right? Some real serious times. And all of that would lead toward the sedition. When the people see they have no rights, they have, you know, they're not being able to be fed properly, they're gonna look to fight against. Let's say for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Yeah, because hey, look, they're saying that we haven't been getting the US dollars to really trade much to import and bring in goods, bring in stuff. So all of that right there would put a strain on the storehouses, you know, starting to empty with all the purchasing and no restocking of goods, you know, restocking of the warehouses. And when things get scarce, what would go on? Second is just 15, you know. I think is 16. The scripture that say when you think things go into right. Second is 16:21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. Things was cheap, you know, 30 years ago, real, you know, reasonable. But now we're going to negotiate 500 and hardly coming out with four handle bags. You know, you're just fooling about 4 handle bags because we know hyperinflation, the dollar being reduced, and you know the worth of the dollar, right? While the worth of the goods going up and the dollar depreciating, a real drastic, you know, increase, well, a great increase in hyperinflation, right? It says that they may think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So yeah, things not gonna be nice soon to come, and it's actually started to be getting much more tough, you know. Yeah. And all of that idea again would lead to the heart of many waxing more cold, because a man belly, you know, is so dear to him, right? He would do anything to fill that belly when he at a stage of hunger. Look at Esau Edom. He gave up his birthright for food. And all these people that don't know the Lord, what? They just as the father, the devil, you know, so they would go to any extent for food. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, so that same Jake that still they soon to come, he don't wanna remain and take lock up and all of these things. He's gonna pull out a knife out his bag and look to go for a throat or some death, some to execute judgment and put it to death and eat the food, you know. That is where it's gonna head into the heart time, and you're gonna wax more and more cold. and we know jobs getting less, you know, as it's saying is I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes 12 and verses 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. The keepers of the house, the rulers, the banking families. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Here it is Elon Musk coming up with the Optimus robot that would be able to replace you, and it would be able to do your work for you, and which would leave you jobless. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Because it's hard times, hardly are jobs, food scarce, farming on the land. This place is gonna be mad out, right? Until the point, we know this devil have so many plans. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. He would come up with some plague, something, so that the whole country would go into a recession. When time to roll out his MOTB, he's gonna bring this whole place down to a lockdown again, right? Just to execute his whole order. Nobody being able to work, none of these things going on. So he would actually box the people into having no choice when they run out of food to come to him. Isaiah 19:15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or the tail or the branch, right, or rush may do. And yeah, so they're gonna take away the jobs, more plagues. Hey, they could even control the weather, bring up storms, do all these things. It's just all to cripple the economy, to go steps closer to their plan. Well, I hope this lesson was edifying. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salute to Yakim, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Until the next one, Shalom.